Check, check, check. Still warming up. Hey, Russ Bass, how you doing? And hey, that's so cool. Joining in from India. Really cool. Hope you're doing well. Well, what time is it over there? At 3 a.m. Oh man, you are just up hanging out. I remember those days of being able to just be up all night, or at least go to bed at that time. Not anymore. Sometimes at 9 o'clock, I'm like, I'm ready to go to bed. So if you're just joining on over here, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to the Bass with Benjamin live stream. And as most of you have probably seen in my posts over the last 24 hours, I've got some exciting new equipment to check out and just kind of show you guys. And I've only kind of just plugged this in, so I'm still kind of getting used to it as well. But I thought it'd be cool, just together as bass players, and also for those of you who are not bass players, to just check out in real time what these gadgets can do, and with my various basses, so that way you can kind of get an idea, get a sound for what is going on over here. But right now, I mean, this morning I've been just playing and just just kind of setting it up and all that, and so far I've just been so impressed with just the way the sounds. It's very inspiring just to when you play through something that sonically that just sounds amazing, and it just makes you want to just play. That's the cool thing about any piece of equipment. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, so we might as well just get right into it. Like this is what we're all here for, and I appreciate you jumping on here and to hang out. So I've got two things. All right, I'm gonna go through the first one, and I think it's pretty obvious. And I'll hold up a picture of it here because it's all the way there. So this bass head right here, this incredible bass head, is called the Quilter Bass Block V803. This is what it looks like up close. Let me make sure I'm showing it correctly. That's what on the owner's manual, but that's what it is. And I've got the owner's manual handy here because I'm still, like I said, I'm still getting used to this and also just learning more about the features on it. But this is a solid state bass head and it does have different settings that we'll go into. Like tube settings and all that, which I'm not too familiar with. I've always just played through solid state bass amps, and that's what I'm kind of used to. But this is really cool that it has like this multiple different worlds. But anyway, what's really cool about this is that it's just first of all, it is extremely light. I mean, extremely light. Does it say in here how light it is? I think it's like 4 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds, which is insane. What does it say here? Yeah, 4.5 pounds. That's 2 kgs, you guys. That's insane. And that puts out 800 watts. 800 watts. Which is like what? So 800 watts through 4 ohms, or 450 watts through 8 ohms, which that's a lot of power, and for something that is that compact, that small, already it's just everything. And this is the thing too that I learned is that there's nothing digital in there. It's all analog, which I just absolutely love. And I can hear and feel just how fast just everything is. Like, it's so responsive. Just so sensitive to the way I play. But it's right there. When I play the chords, it's not breaking up. And that's flat right now on the amp. Everything, you can probably see the knobs. They're all just in the 12 o'clock position. And that's always a great place to start. So I'm gonna just give you a quick breakdown of what's going on the amp here. All right, so I know I don't have another camera to kind of have it zoomed in or anything. I just have a real basic setup. But the knobs that we have going on, so we have your input gain, right? We got treble, mid-range, the mid-frequency, bass, and then the master, right? Real simple. That's all you need. And it's just easy to just do your thing. There's no like, okay, like selecting whatever, like this frequency from that universe and this universe, like some of those, amps where they just have too much control and it just gets overwhelming. This is where like it has the things that you're used to and that you need. And then there's a few switches on here. So next to the gain knob, there's a switch called the voicing switch or the voice switch. And it has 3 modes. It has modern, warm, or Q-tube. All right, and so with modern, again, bring out my trusty little manual here. So it apparently this setting duplicates the performance of the bass block 802, which is, I guess, their previous bass head. And it has a dual limiter that prevents lower strings from bottoming out, even on very high bass settings. And so that's what I have it on right now, is like just modern. And everything on my bass here, the groove line, an active bass, it's all flat. Woo! That's just incredible. Hey Warren, nice to hear from you. How you doing, Robert? Hope you're all doing well. And anybody else who's just jumping on here, nice to see you. We're just going through this incredible Quilter bass block V803. So that's the modern setting, all right? Now, the warm setting, which I really love. It just kind of this one changes the impedance, the amplifier impedance, to loosen up the sound, just to give a touch of breakup, which is really cool. I really like this setting as well. Just gives a little bit of hair on the chest. It's just so fun to play, but that's just a really nice setting right there. Warm, and then Q-tube. I think you could probably guess this one. This one is going to give more breakup. So if you definitely want that more harder hitting kind of sound, then this is what it'll give you. That is powerful. And how you're hearing the bass rig is I've got a direct line and I've got the cabinet mic'd, and this is through my beloved AccuGroove Tri-112 cabinet, which is my absolute favorite bass cabinet that I've ever played through. So it's really cool to hear this cabinet with this Quilter bass head. So I'm going to put it back on modern, and then underneath it has another switch, which is for passive, active, or mute. So obviously when I change to some passive basses to give you that vibe, I'll change it to the passive option. Now the other thing that's really interesting with this is that so it has 2 inputs on here. It has a flat input, and then it has a scoop input. And I think it's you could assume that at first when I saw that, I assumed like, okay, the scoop is just going to dip some of the mids, But it's actually, I mean, it does do that, but it produces the initial tone that is similar to a classic tone stack EQ, you know, so the EQ sections which have an inherent mid scoop. And it says this input has full bass, leaner mid-range, and silkier highs. So right now I have it in flat, which is essentially, it's just high impedance input. It matches both passive and active bass signals with no frequency shaping. All frequencies are treated equally, revealing the natural sound of your bass instrument. And that's what's going on. This is the natural sound of my groove line. Mr. Steve Weingart, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? I got to reply to your messages that you sent me. So I'll talk to you later. So that's definitely the natural sound of my bass. Now let's put it in the flat input. I mean, the scooped input. The ice cream scoop input. All right, we're in the scoop. So you can hear there's definitely a dip in the mids, but still has a nice kind of warmth to it as well. It's not like, you know, there's some bass amps that I've plugged into, or most of you have probably plugged into, this being like a scoop button, and literally it does a huge scoop, and then I feel like a lot of the definition is gone, but this still retains it. And how you doing, Christopher? So Pat Quilter and Chris from Quilter Labs watching from Irvine. How you doing, cats? Thank you so much for sending this out. Like, I mean, this thing is incredible. I'm having a lot of fun here, and just this is really cool to just go through the amp with you cats, and really just put it through its paces. And we have Mark Wright as well, who is Mr. AccuGroove. Ah, this is so cool, man. This is amazing. Mark, who I've known for probably 10 years now, or actually 11 years now. He's the one who I met at the NAMM show 2014 after I played with Lee Ritenour, and that's how I got into the AccuGroove. So nice to see you, cats. Thank you so much. This is such a treat right here, and yeah, this combination right here is just already is just mwah. So we're in the scooped part right here, and it definitely does have like some of those like more old school bass amps. It definitely has that kind of vibe, but there's still like a nice, like I said, a nice warmth to it. And if I wanted to add some mids, obviously I can do it on my bass right here. So right now, like I said, I have the EQ flat on my bass, and I can just add some more mids, and we can still get a nice growl. Like, this just reminds me of... I mean, it's the just vintage jazz bass vibes right there, which is so cool. Like, you know, I'm like getting, and I'll pull out my vintage Ibanez jazz bass, but it's like, you know, Larry Graham like vibes right there. Now, what about the back pickup? We get that Jaco growl. Yeah, I mean, it's right there. If I put some more mid, let's just crank up the mids and see what we get. I'm going to roll the tone back a bit, and we can get... Woo! That has got some growl. You know. Oh man, it's got a lot of punch. I mean, like it's just beating me in the chest right here, which is crazy. Kai Kurosawa, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh man, Kai is the cat who said, who turned me on to Quilter. He said, like, yo, man, you got to check out this new V803 bass head. I mean, it's incredible, man. Like, I mean, and dude, thank you so much for introducing me to John, who I see down here. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? This thing is just beasting right here, and that's only on the scooped mode. And then the other thing I figured out is just like, okay, so on the flat input, obviously with the voice switches, there's 3 modes right there, but then we go into the scoop input, and then we have another 3 voicings in that side as well, using modern, warm, and Q-tube, which is crazy. So it's like, man, you have like 6 different like vibes going on there. So that was all on modern, just, and I'm already getting like, vintage, jazz bass vibes. What if I put it onto warm? Let's crank up the mids, man, because that was like, woo. Actually, no, I'm going to go back to flat, both pickups. I'll tell you, man, it's like, I don't know, if scoop might be my favorite input, man. I'm not sure. It's a toss up. That thing is like scoop, and on the warm setting, I mean, that is, and that's just flat, and I'm getting all of that right there. All right, back pickup, crank up the mids. Let's do it. Okay, yeah, this is crazy, yo. This is crazy. All right, I'm going to go to front pickup because that's where we can get into like P-bass land. And even on a modern bass like this, I mean, come on, 6-string bass, like all of that. And it gives you vintage vibes. Come on now! Yo, who needs like that? That's the thing, man. It's like, if it sounds like that on this modern bass, just wait till I put on the vintage basses, and that's gonna be crazy. All right, Q-tube. What do we got on Q-tube? All right, yeah. Now we're getting into so Q-tube is essentially SVT land. That's what it is, and apparently, like an SVT, a big old SVT head was used as a guide for developing this. what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crank up the gain, and I'm gonna bring the master down, and let's hear that. This is not a tone that I typically use, but for those of you cats who are into this, this is what you could do. I haven't done this as yet, so I'm doing this for the first time, but I know it's gonna do it, and I know it's gonna sound great. So, oh, okay, there we go. Now I just want to make sure I'm not clipping my input signal on my interface. Okay, here we go. So, all right, here's a bit of I mean, that's some dirt right there. That's crazy. I'm gonna and this is still on the scooped input, right? I'm gonna use a pick. I don't use a pick, but I'm gonna use a pick. If you want that sound, it does it. It's got it right there. This is insane, cats. I'm gonna go back to my all 12 o'clock settings. And that's the thing. Everything is flat. Everything is flat right now. And what I've been doing this whole time, and insane. So then the other thing, so it has an effects loop. We got the send and the return, and then there's a headphone input as well. So if you are just wanting to practice, obviously, or even just have it routed so that if you are playing, you know, you can hear your bass a little more clearly or directly. Then it has that. So and this whole thing can be used without plugging into a cabinet. I know there are some amps where you have to have it plugged into a cabinet, something to do with the power rating or something. I'm not an expert on that, but for this one, like this can be used just as like a DI essentially, because it's got a line out, you know, the XLR in the back. That's what I'm plugged into, going into my interface here. And then there's two speaker outputs, the speak-on kinds. And so it's just a really sleek, lightweight design. There is a switch for the XLR. It's a ground lift switch, and it has auto on there, which I've never seen before. Let me see what it says about that. For the switch on that, let's see. Oh man, I'm gonna bring out my manual here, because I know what ground and lift does, but the automatic, I'm not sure. Maybe when you put it in automatic, it just takes care of it for you, so you don't have to worry. Like, that's what I would assume. I'm just trying to see here. I'm just kind of trying to figure that out. Or maybe one of the cats at Quilter can let me know. What does the automatic function on there? Is it like, you know, in your car, you know, if you got a automatic, and then you can put the option to like go, you know, do the side paddle shifters, or like do the manual driving yourself? Is it like that? I don't know. Who else we got on here? Hey Red, how you doing? John Axe Bass, how you doing, bro? Nice to see you. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this distortion or fuzz. Exactly, that's the thing, man. This thing like really can pump that out as well. I'm gonna put since I had that high level gain, I'm just gonna put everything back to where I had it on my interface that way. Um, and yeah, it's it's super growly when you attack it hard. That's the thing, is that like some other amps that I've played through, the way that I was attacking it, like they would have just like in a bad way. But this thing just is just relentless, just the way that it does it. Um, and how much does it cost? So whatever area you're in the world, yeah, I'm sure you could just jump on Google or whatever and definitely be able to figure that out. But from what I understand, it doesn't break the bank, which is really cool. I'm just like, all of that, and 800 watts, and it's just like, it's insane. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to the flat input. I'm gonna put on a vintage bass. All right. Let's do a P bass, since this has been giving jazz bass vibes. I'm gonna put on a P bass with flat wounds. All right. This cat right here. So this is fun, you cats. I'm having a great time here checking out this. And then, don't forget, I do have another piece of equipment as well. The New Neighbor Immerse Reverberator pedal, which is just mind-boggling, which is crazy. But I want to have a go through this with a vintage bass, because I haven't actually done that as yet. I've only just been doing it with my 6-string. So let's have a good. And maybe I'll bring out the fretless as well. We'll check that out too. Oh man, especially with the reverb pedal. Ooh, like a kid in a candy store right now. All right, so that's on mute, so nothing is gonna go. You know how it is. All right, let's get this thing right here. And from what I understand, and I never knew this, so Pat Quilter, he was the founder of QSC, Pro Audio, speakers and amps and mixers. Like I had no idea that's what the Q is from, and I was just like, oh, makes sense. And so and I've always loved QSC audio, and there was even a few times on some gigs where the bass amp that was backlined for me wasn't that great, and I thought, I'll just go into the monitors, and a lot of times people are using QSC monitors and all that, and I thought, let me just plug into just give me 2 QSC monitors, and it was incredible, right? Just my bass straight in, and that was, it's full range, right? So I can understand how this thing sounds incredible, all right, when it comes from, the man himself, Pat Quilter. So thank you, Mr. Quilter. I'm going to go back to flat. And what I love about this AccuGroove cabinet is that this is a very flat response, full range cabinet. It's a three-way isolated drivers. Yeah, so there is a 12, there is a 5, or is it a 6? And then there are 2 tweeters. And I've gone inside this thing, in the back, and you can see like where they are isolated, which is incredible. So they all inside, they have their own sections. So that's why this cabinet, this AccuGroove, is just so perfect for hearing the bass block through it. But I'm sure whatever, like other cabinets you might be using, like this bass block the V803 will just make it sound incredible. So yeah. All right. I've got the 1974 Ibanez P bass with the flat wounds. and I'm gonna put it onto passive mode, and we're gonna go back to the modern setting. So, ooh, okay, I'm gonna bring the levels down here. I mean, that's a lot of pound. This P bass has a lot of growl to it, which is crazy. All right, so this was off all the tone rolled off on this bass. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? You know, like P bass, like growl, like what? And that's on the modern setting. Okay, let's go to the warm setting. Warm me up! I mean, I'm like rattling things in the room here, you know, like. I mean, I have that loud. That thing, that is screaming, and there is no indication on this rig that is showing me that something is about to go wrong. Knock on wood. And I'm just like, this is what it's supposed to sound like. This is what the bass in my instruments is supposed to sound like, and especially a bass like this. Exactly, Red. Holy moly, that's exactly what is happening. Now, what if I put on some tone, like a little more brightness? I'm gonna bring the mic level down a bit because I can see it's kind of going into the red a bit. Now, that's a lot of treble there, just to give you an idea, but I'm going to just kind of put it midway. I mean, this gives like Paul Jackson vibes all day. Okay, slapping. Now, this is not a bass I would typically slap on, just because, you know, the flat wounds kind of thing. But I mean, it sounds great with it, you know. Ooh, okay, now. That's the warm setting. Q-tube. Woo! You can spank that and it just, like, it takes it. Listen to that. That is insane. I've never been able to do that before. And this is with flat wounds, too. crazy, 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 crazy. Scoop input. We got to go to scoop input. You know, that makes it even more vintage. All right, back to modern. Yeah, okay. It almost reminds me of like you know, like a B15 flip top. That's what I'm saying. It's like, even in the scoop, it still retains a nice warmth, a nice mirror. It's not just like, oh, you know, like it's just like carved out. There's still like, it's still there, but it's not like, you know, just, it's just so sweet. That's the thing, you know? And it's still like really fast and like just that's the thing. It's just so like right there with you. It's almost like you're playing and it's like ahead of you. It's crazy. All right. Warm. What was it? I mean, come on. Come on, Quilter. Come on now. Like, what? Did I get? Yeah. QTube. Like, it just, this is the thing. It's like, you put it on the QTube, and it's to obviously to allow, you know, when you hit it hard, to allow things to just break up, but it's not over excessive. That's the thing. Like on some amps, you know, you put it like on the drive channel or whatever, or on the tube mode, and it just twang that banjo, and it just overdoes it like too much, and it's just like, no, what if I just want just like a little bit, you know, twang that banjo, you know. Yeah, I can't play with band, you know. Okay, I'm gonna try the fretless through it, and then I think we can move on to the reverb pedal. But I'm just having a lot of fun exploring this amp, and I know there's so much more that it can do, but this is just like the initial stuff, and I think I've gone through a lot of the features on it, that it's just it will give you what you put into it, and not a lot of amps can do that, that I've experienced. So again, this is the quilter. All right, quilter, as in like a family quilt or something. Quilter bass block V803. So if you go onto, I guess, the Quilter website, you'll see that there. All right. But this thing is just, wow, insane. All right, I'm gonna plug in my fretless, the red Grooveline fretless that you see back there, and let's keep it going. Okay, so and what's cool about actually all of my active basses are like this. They both have active and passive options, so it'd be cool to hear it. Can I get a Stuart Zender line? Do I know any Stuart Zender lines? Oh, we'll see. Have to try and remember them. Okay, come on, Grooveline fretless. All right, this is my beautiful Grooveline fretless named Ruby. So let's put everything flat. My go-to setting on this fretless bass, or just any fretless bass, is the back pickup. I mean, come on, who am I kidding? All right, the person I think of is Jocko, right? That is definitely what it is. So excuse me if I just go straight to the back pickup on this, because that's what I'm going to do. All right. I'll check out the other ones too, but here we go. But it's also possible... there we go. I have got a little dust in this bass. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the active passive switch is being a little funny right now. So I'm just not going to touch that switch. Okay, it sings. Bring up the... Good grief. Oh my God. It's beautiful, you guys. Like punchy. Alright, roll the tone all the way off, and let's put up some mids, and we'll go... I mean, like even the in the dark setting, and that's still on modern. That's you know. So yeah, the fingerboard is a rosewood fingerboard, but this was defretted by Ibanez about 8 years ago, and they finished it with epoxy, like multiple layers of epoxy. I just told them do the Jarko treatment on it, so that's why it looks like a mirror, and it's really shiny. Okay, warm setting. I mean, it's just like the upper register. It just so sings. It just like it's not so harsh. It's just like the right. I can't stop playing, you know? It's just like I just can't that is, you know, in that warm setting is money right there, man. Like that's. But now I'm gonna try it in the scoop setting. All right, scoop setting for sure. You know, unfortunately, I don't have any basses with humbuckers. You know, they're mainly single coils. Although I think these the Sonic Arch Cap pickups, you know what? I think they are stacked humbuckers. That's the thing. But mainly, you know, I'm a kind of more into like a single coil kind of, you know, sound. But I am certain that humbuckers on this would just absolutely crush. They would just sound incredible. So, you know, if you're looking at, you know, something like, you know, Bartolini's, you know, so if you have like an MTD bass or something, or even some of the Ibanez BTBs or sound gears, anything with humbuckers would really, you know, sound incredible through this. All right, scoop setting. The ice cream scoop setting. And yes, you know, epoxy. This is definitely. I told them to put the hardest epoxy on here, and it definitely does not scratch it. You know, I give it a good wipe as well. You know, I always keep it clean. But these are not flats. These are stainless steel round wounds. These are DR fat beams on here. So they are, you know, I think they're like the equivalent, the same as what Roto Sound, like the swing bass set would be, similar to that. Okay, scoop sound, modern. So okay. So now this is giving me like a, you know, acoustic 360 kind of vibes, you know. Like this, I dig in, and it's right there. It's not. Still nice and singing. I'm gonna put some mids on. I mean, like, what? This thing, like, with fretless. Come on now. All right. My favorite setting, warm. Ooh. Ran out of no frets. It's just got that growl, like everything that that I love, about fretless. I mean, it's so great. I mean, I could just cry. I could just cry because it's so amazing. It sounds so beautiful. Oh man! All right, so once again, this is the Quilter bass block V803 because it's like a V8, engine in there. Like, I mean, it has some grunt. It's got a lot of power and it's super clean, even at like the high power, but it can give you some dirt as well, which is just insane. This thing, wow. Insane. All right, the next piece of equipment that I have here. All right, I'm just absolutely gobsmacked how incredible this is. And also, this is so cool. Nice to see everyone on here, and I hope everyone's been having a great week and all that. And I really appreciate you being on here. And if you haven't already, to like, subscribe, and ding the bell on here on my YouTube channel, because that'll help get my stuff on other people's stuff, feeds and all that. So this next one is the New Neighbor Immerse Reverberator, and this is also by Quilter as well. Quilter had acquired New Neighbor pedals, and they've been, from what I understand and what I've kind of had a look around, they've been really specializing in the kind of like reverbs and, I think maybe delays, but it's definitely reverbs and echoes type of pedals, which is really cool. I've never had a reverb pedal before. I've never really used reverb or echoes. The closest would be a delay pedal of my Boss DD6. I've also had the Akai Head Rush as well. But this right here, I mean, I always thought, and I'm going to change basses. I'm going to change to my my BTB 6-string. I always thought, hey, at some point it might be cool to try out a reverb pedal, especially with all the chordal stuff, that I do. The chordal stuff that I do, it kind of makes sense to maybe use something like that, but I just never did. And usually I would always use reverb if I needed to use reverb. I would just use it in post-production, on if I'm using Logic or something. That's when I would do it. But to be able to have, to use a pedal where in real time I can, as I'm playing, I can adjust the parameters of it, the sound. I'm gonna go back to flat, and I'm gonna leave it on the warm setting because that's kind of my vibe right now. You know, gives me all warm and fuzzy. So this is what the pedal looks like. I've got the pedal on my desk right here. But this is what it is. And if you can pull it up, if you want to have a look, you can pull it up on the website, I guess, and just have a look at the the knobs that it has on it. So essentially we're dealing with a mix knob, a depth knob. We've got a knob that deals with time and tone, depending on what setting you put it on. There's a pre-delay, and then there's another one which is like a blend knob that also deals with pre-delay and modulation. And then the settings that it has wet, so like a very like wet kind of sounding reverb. There's a plate reverb, hall, so like if you're in a concert hall or something, a spring reverb, and then it has like a sustain, which is I'm gonna go through these in a bit. It's insane. And then a classic echo, and then there's like a down tune one, which kind of gives the vibe of like a chorus pedal. And then there's one called a shim, which is a very shimmery thing. It almost has like the reverb. It's almost like it puts it up an octave or something. So it almost sounds like you have like an orchestra behind you, and that's really cool when playing chords. So anyway, do I have sound here? So I got my BTB custom 6-string here, and let's start all the way on the wet side. I'm just gonna put everything at 12 o'clock because that usually is a really good go-to. And I'm gonna push the button, and then this light will go engage, and this is what we get. This is on the wet. And so if I was to put the mix all the way up, it really just it almost in a way takes away the like the dry signal and just immerses you in just the full. Know what I mean? So I think that something like that would be handy if you have like two different rigs going on, like a stereo rig. So like you have a wet side and then the dry side. I think that's how that would work. I'm not an expert on that kind of thing, but I would assume that that's how it would be done. And I'm using I'm putting this pedal through the effects loop on the quilter because I've always found that time-based effects, so delays and all that, sound the best when they're going through the effects send and return. But obviously, if you want to do it on the front end as well, at the end of your pedal chain, that's where you want to do it. But for me, I like it through the effects bay right there. So and then the depth knob, if I add more, it's almost like it's the feedback. It just makes the feedback longer. Right, you can hear a nice tail there. Which is really cool. And then some pre-delay. that just, from what I understand, so if I was to put the mix knob all the way up so you can really hear. And I think it uses pre-delay. I'm still getting used to like how that really works, but and then sometimes, you know, when you get pedals, sometimes you just gotta just turn knobs and just use your ears, you know. So that's definitely a very wet sounding reverb, so which is really cool. And then the tone, you can make it sound darker by which is beautiful. So really cool. I mean, so then in the plate reverb, it's going to give you like that kind of classic studio plate. That's a lot right there. We'll just dial it back a bit. So you can hear how it kind of like bounces off as if it's bouncing off a plate, you know? Just like the sustain at the end there, it's just. And yes, Mr. Mark Riddle absolutely will be using the fretless with this reverb pedal as well, because I mean that's the thing, is that's part of the sound. And so just to remind you, so this pedal is called the New Neighbor Immerse Reverberator. So new neighbor, howdy neighbor, I'm your new neighbor. Immerse Reverberator, the Mach 2. All right. And new neighbor, that's spelled as Neunaber. I mean, even just like this, like soloing, playing lines, it just has that nice, you know, just at the end, this nice little support. Ooh! Just I'm in heaven, man. All right, a hall reverb. So, as if you're in like in a concert hall, and you're just there on the stage by yourself, and you're just using the room acoustics. Oh, I feel like, you know, I'm playing it like you know, like Carnegie Hall or something. How you doing, John? Oh man, it's going great. These like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I mean the bass head, like what? Just like, I'm just speechless, man. And this thing right here, just like every time I play a chord, I just want to cry. I just want to cry. See, I can't even talk properly. So from what I understand, John Quilter invented this Quilter amp head. This is his design. Beautiful. And a spring reverb. Oh yeah. This is kind of, you can do like this kind of 80s thing. You remember like in the 80s there was a lot of spring reverb, especially with like slap bass. I'm going to bring the feedback a bit. There was like, let's see. You know, which is so funny. Like in the 80s, like there's some of these even Victor Bailey records. Yeah, sorry, not John Quilter, Pat Quilter. Pat Quilter is the one who invented this. It's his designs. John works for Quilter. John at Quilter. And it's real funny. I was in my head, I was calling him John Quilter as well, because like, oh yeah, John, the dude at Quilter, John Quilter. I mean, it makes sense, right? So if you want to do that whole thing of it's got that. All right, the sustain portion of it. This is insane right here. All right, it's yeah, you hear that? Then let go. Like what? What? As soon as I let go, stop the note, then it stops as well. Like I'm just like, what is going on? What is this sorcery? Oh man, I wish I had a volume pedal to like do that. Then that would be so cool. Well, I could do it with the bass. And then check this out. I can turn off the pedal. Oh wait, no. I have to turn the setting up higher to do that. Okay, yeah. So if I play, if I just play a chord, I can turn off the pedal. If I do the time longer, then it'll do it. I did it earlier, and I was just like, wait, what? It's a sustain pedal, so. So I can just have a chord sustaining. Which is so cool. So that's the sustain function right there. And it's like you can mod it. And you get these different... You want to just like cloud it up. Oh, that is freaky. That is freaky. Okay, the echo function. Just a nice, echo. That one. Even my wife is going, that one. You guys, you can get like what? That's just an echo. All right, the down tune. Okay, we got chorus vibes right here. And yes, Kai, man. First of all, everyone, if you haven't checked out Kai Kurosawa, you need to check out Kai Kurosawa right now. Okay, this dude. First of all, the instrument that he plays and has developed. I think you call it the aircraft carrier, right? Because I mean, you know, this thing is incredible. So it's obviously you get the concept, I guess, is reminiscent to like a Chapman stick or like a wall guitar or the Mobius Megatar or something. But Kai has developed his own technique, and this instrument in particular, and the way that he plays, it's just like you have. I can't talk about it because it's so incredible. You have to just see it for yourself. And I remember there was one year. You remember Kai? You were at the MTD booth because MTD made this beautiful instrument. And I remember I saw you at the MTD booth, man, and you were like, "Hey, you want to try this instrument?" I was like, "No, man, no. What am I gonna do with it, man? I just want to see you play it." You know, I wouldn't know what to. I could probably get something out of it, but like I want to see how it's actually played. And so you guys, you got to check out Kai Kurosawa. And again, Kai, thank you for this connection right here to Quilter. It's just this. I'm just having so much fun here. Yeah, Kai is incredible. And I actually met Kai through his brother Go Kurosawa, who's an incredible guitar player who I've played with a couple of times back when I was in college, you know, at Cal Arts. So this is cool, you know, like just nice, real, you know, if I was to put the depth all the way up. I'm going to put the mix all the way up. Woo! If you want to do that 80s thing as well, I mean, you got that chorus. Woo! All right, now here's one that is real trippy. This is the shim one. I just have like a little orchestra behind me now. And so the different parameters, I can change, you know, how that sounds. And so you can adjust the like the octave of it. So you can have it down here, or you can have it up high, like where it's just more sparkly. Adjust the blend of it. So it's insane. There's just so many options, just like so many different sounds. I'm going to go to the fretless. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. There's just so many different, there's just a whole new world right there that you can get into. A whole new world. With that. And this is something that I'm going to be exploring more, because I definitely have not used reverb like playing live. Okay, now if it sounds that great with that, what's it gonna sound like with Z fretless? Okay, let's get a nice reverb. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. To a plate reverb. Yeah, you need this pedal. Everyone here needs this pedal right now. Can we get continuum? Oh gosh. Well, what's crazy is so I'll get to that. Maybe when I go to the chorus one, I'll go do continuum, because this is a thing. When Jaco recorded continuum, he double tracked the bass. All right, you guys, he double tracked the bass. So he played what he played, and then he played exactly note for note on another pass to exactly what he played. Because this is a tune he had been working on for such a long time. Just like any of those tunes on that debut record, right? Donna Lee and all that. He'd been working on these tunes for years. So he had it down what he was going to play. Especially in a studio environment. He would come in with a good idea of what he's going to do. And so it's insane how... So if you listen to Continuum on that first record, what sounds like is a chorus effect or something. No, that's 2 tracks of bass. Just like the same way that vocalists will double track their vocals to get this more fuller, richer sound. But there's those little subtleties of like the subtle pitch modulations, and even just slightly a hair ahead of the beat, or just a little bit that gives it that character. That's what he did. It's insane. Like, what? right, so what if we were to do sustain on this one? Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed. All right, echo. Nice. It's everything that you would think it would do and better. All right, here's that chorus one, the down tune one. So let's dial it in. Maybe we could do. Okay, yeah. So for that, I'm going to. That's really there. That's very 80s right there. Yeah, okay. So obviously you can like make it really like, you know, full on, or you can just have it where it's just like a little, you know, so subtle as well. And by, I guess, just simply using the mix knob to do that. So that's all the way off. Now just putting it on a bit. You can just make it very subtle. I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go to a hall reverb to do that. Beautiful. Hi, I'm new. I play bass too. Nice, nice. That's cool, man. Always cool to hear the cats that play bass. So welcome. Exactly. That's one of the tunes that really does, do it for me. Alright, cats. Wow, insane. Yeah, this has gone on longer than usual, but all for a good reason, because my mind is just blown. And this is the thing. I've always been someone who's been really, really picky about equipment, about gear, especially when it comes to bass rigs. I've tried almost just about everything out there. And that's from years of touring where I've had all kinds of backline bass amps supplied to me. And this is something where, you know what? I haven't been this, just absolutely gobsmacked, or even just felt like, in, I don't know, a very long time, other than when I've gotten, certain basses. But for a bass rig, this is why, this AccuGroove cabinet here has been with me through everything, and why it will always be with me through everything, because it is my favorite cabinet. And now paired with this bass block, V803. This is the combo right here. This it does everything that you put into it. All right, just everything that I look for, and especially with this fretless right here. It's just beautiful. So again, thank you to Quilter for making this incredible bass amplifier, and also this beautiful New Neighbor Immerse reverberator pedal. I mean, it's just what I've shown you here. It's just the possibilities are just endless with this pedal, and even with this amp as well. And I had everything on flat. So you guys, this is insane, really. And I appreciate you all for just hanging out and just being here while we just go through this. And also, it's so cool that John from Quilter, and then also Pat Quilter was there, and Chris as well, and of course Mr. Mark Wright, who I call Mr. AccuGroove, for the support over the years, and all that, and just making stuff that is for bass players, what stuff is supposed to sound like. And just remember, this was just directly into the basses were just going straight in to the amp. All right, I wasn't using my pedals. All right, other than obviously this reverb pedal, but that's going into the effects bay, right? But this is just straight into the amp because, you know, that's where you really want to hear what it sounds like. And so I'm excited to really, you know, incorporate some of my other pedals in here as well. And just, yeah, just continue this journey of where we're really finding our sound, our bass tones, our voices. And when you have equipment that can really help you with that, then it's just, you know, it's just very inspiring. And I've been very inspired this past hour and a half here on this live stream. And so, yeah, what else could I say other than, you know, like, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And if you like what you've been hearing, you like the stuff, I also have this in educational format as well, the chords and all that. If you want to learn how to play the bass, some of you watching this aren't bass players as yet but want to be, I can help you out with any of those things. Or if you're looking for a mentor, you can always reach out to me. All right. This has been so great, you guys. And again, thank you, Quilter. Thank you, New Neighbor, which is part of Quilter. And thank you, all of you. All of you are awesome just for hanging out. And it's so great to be able to do this every single week. It really is. And so we'll do it again next week. Yeah, I just got a big smile on my face with all this. This is so great. Red, if you need some help playing jazz, just reach out to me. So you can send me an email through basswithbenjamin.com, and we can chat and figure it out. So send me an email. Let's talk. All right. I'd love to help you out. All right. But anyway, everybody, you guys rock. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. And have a great rest of your week. Great weekend coming up. Be safe out there wherever you are in the world. All right. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. See you guys soon. Peace.